What else did I watch? I watched the Maino and Mister interview actually last night, and it was really good. Like, despite everything that hit the news, obviously, was him talking about dating transgender women. But in general, like, y'all need to watch that interview. Like, not just about him talking about dating transgender women. The whole interview was dope. Like, he talked about just being in the music industry, how he discovered Biggie. Did you know that? We all thought P. Diddy did it and Mr. C did it. Like, him and Mr. C was mad cool. Biggie and Mr. C was mad cool. And I was just like, wow. Like, he was so big in the hip-hop culture and stuff like that. So it was a dope interview. And Maino, child. I love me some Maino. Isn't that funny? I was just talking about Maino. His pod, I didn't know he had a pod. It's called Kitchen Table Talk, I want to say. I know it's some kitchen table something, but you could definitely check out the interview. Just type in like Maino and Mr. C. But yeah, he was very, to me, I would say, influential in hip hop. He got a lot of good dope music from like the 80s, 90s. I was in the house like bumping because it was kind of lit. That was a good interview. As it pertains to Maino, Maino, I told y'all in the last pod, he is just a Brooklyn, like, he is just a New York nigga. Like, he was just giving me, he was frightening me because the way he was talking. He was like, oh my God. He was saying to Mr. C, he was like, so you like fucking niggas that dress like girls. I'm like, you know what? But you know what's so funny? And I mean, some people might criticize me for this, but I kind of enjoyed that behavior. And not in a sense, I'm very aware that what he was saying was ignorant as fuck. But what I enjoyed about it was the nostalgia of it, of just somebody who's just blatantly talking how they want to talk and saying what they want to say. And in the moment, you know, Mr. C was trying to educate him, but he was just saying things how he wanted to say it. And such an unapologetic way. Was it ignorant? Yes. Like, he called a block in Brooklyn mook. Mook is like a word that they use for like gay men and things like that or whatever. And I just enjoyed, I just want to make it clear, I know he was being ignorant. He cannot call transgendered women or men niggas in dresses. You cannot say that. You cannot. So don't think about it. But I just enjoyed that he was just being himself. Like, he was just, he could get in trouble. Thank God Maino was more, he was more on a lower level of a hip-hop artist. He might get held accountable for it, I'm not sure. But I don't think people is really like checking for him. I'm not sure. But yeah, it was kind of, I enjoyed him just talking like that, you know what I'm saying? I hope he is, when he says those things though, that he is aware of learning that what he should and should not say. And not only that, if he's saying those things, are you saying it to just be ignorant, or you really feel that way? Do you really feel that transgendered women are men in dresses? And the reason why I say that is because you can't just be saying shit to be ignorant. If you're going to say something, you got to have, to me, especially something that serious, a theoretical reason as to why you're saying that. And not just because you like my nigga, because that's just how I feel. You know how niggas be acting like that. But yeah, so those are the things I watched this week. I literally watched that interview last night. I definitely recommend it. If you like hip-hop to a certain extent, I think it's a dope interview. I do. And I'm not talking about just why it made the headlines. Obviously, that's why I clicked on it. But then when I sat and watched the whole interview, I was like, oh, okay, Mr. C is kind of dope or whatever. And he was just so unapologetically saying, yeah, I still dabble with transgendered trans people. I don't, you know, he said it. And I was just here for everything. Just the whole interview itself was just like a lot. And it was dope. And I fuck with it. So I definitely think that's something y'all should check out. That's something I checked out this week. And yeah. So this week, what will we be talking about? So you just finished watching a clip from a podcast called Brit Says The Podcast. BRITTSAYS. If you want to watch that full episode, you can click right up here. And if you want to stream and listen to Brit Says The Podcast, this is available on all DSPs such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, DEEZER, iHEARTRADIO, anything you can imagine, you'll find Brit Says The Podcast. So go ahead out, listen, leave a review, and 5 stars. And while you're here, subscribe to my channel.